I managed to get a placement in Jindal Steel's Pramati Healthcare. So this was our startup at that point of time. So in healthcare at home, I was working in the M&A and strategy team. So I had and also fundraising for the business. Hope has always been a dream organization for anyone at IML for sure. So at Amazon, I'm part of the supply chain finance team.
You were a computer scientist, then you did your MBA,
Yeah.
and then tell us after that, कि MBA के बाद what took you? I know you were at Coca-Cola. How have the last 10 years been?
So I think most of it was not really planned. I in MBA it was more of a rat race for a placement, which I managed to get a placement in Jindal Steels in one of their general management programs. So similar to TAS, which is quite respected. So Jindal Steels have their own program where we are rotated across different businesses for 2 years and then given. So I joined that. I think I always wanted to start something of my own. Wanted to be an entrepreneur.
What you were thinking at that time. And I'm asking this क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो IIM से 1 साल 2 साल बाद जो करना चाहते हैं entrepreneurship and they're like लोन है या sometimes family commitments हैं and those kind of things.
So my parents were kind of apprehensive about this initially, and they said कि यार job चल रही है, why do you want to leave a settled job? Job के साथ में कुछ करो फिर सोचना कि job छोड़ना है कि नहीं. But I thought my thought process was कि यार करके देख लेते हैं अब if not now then when. So I thought कि यार job तो फिर ना कुछ लग ही जाएगी, करके देखते हैं क्या है नहीं है. And what worst would happen that I'll lose everything that I have and I'll again go back to a job. So that was my thought process. I had a good conversation with my manager who was there in JSPL. Tried to sway my mind कि यार देख लो, but then he was quite understanding. He gave good tips and then I plunged into it. I wanted to create a big impact in healthcare sector. And that the sector was decided. I wanted to create something big in healthcare.
I think need versus want is a good way to choose what you want to do in your life. And I think you're right that healthcare is a need. So, what was your unique insight, and what did you try to do in healthcare?
So I had seen someone in my family who had suffered a lot because of the healthcare system. She was my aunt. She wasn't doing that well. She was completely bedridden, and she was being taken care of at home. And that's what triggered that. I think caring for someone at home is very difficult in India, and that's where I thought home healthcare is bound to be something big, which I thought was a big gap, which I found, and I wanted to explore that space, create an impact, and see how it goes. So maybe use technology to change the way home healthcare services are delivered, and see how. So that was the thought process behind it, and I went behind it. I joined a couple of like-minded people to set up Pramati Healthcare. So this was our startup at that point of time. We raised some initial angel investments as well, and yeah, I think we were doing decently enough. We did some good work. We scaled our services across Delhi and NCR, and then a few cities outside of Delhi as well, Jaipur, Chandigarh. But we were not able to scale the business beyond the initial phase of growth. There were a lot of reasons behind it, pulling the plug
So,
down.
how many years did you run this healthcare company?
About 2 years.
2 years. And then you moved to London.
No, so that's London was a different story. So I joined one of our key competitors, Health India. So which had a very similar business than us. They were very well funded. So I in healthcare at home, I was working in the M&A and strategy team. So I had and also fundraising for the business. So I had a lot of experience in terms of dealing with startups, acquisitions. That's what Coca-Cola kind of was thinking at that point of time in India. They wanted to engage with the startup community, maybe invest in a few startups, do an M&A or some. That's where they wanted someone from a startup space. The recruiter reached out. I interviewed for the role. I got the opportunity. The money was really good, and I thought, why not take this plunge? I think Coke has always been a dream organization for anyone at IML for sure. Coke was a very different experience. I think they are a phenomenal company. They've been there for more than 100 years. I think
Where were you
130
based
years.
in Coke?
Gurgaon. So based off
Okay, so
their head of.
the head office. That's the head office. So Coke, you did 2 years in India, 2 years UK,
Yeah.
right? How did that move from India to the UK happen? And did your role change or just the geography?
No, the role changed as well. So I started in the M&A team in Coke India. Uh, we we were looking into some opportunities initially, and this was early 2000, late 2019, and uh, I think COVID just stuck, and then most of the M&A activity was put on hold. So I was not really engaged in M&A anymore.
So, Mayur, I'm very interested to hear about your journey after Coca Cola. So, you are there in London for 2 years, Coca Cola. What after that?
After that, I got an opportunity to move to join Amazon, and I took it. I mean, again, it's not been easy for me, and with the family now with two kids, to move countries. It's not that easy, definitely. So at Amazon, I'm part of the supply chain finance team. I look uh, into activities on how to better optimize the supply chain that we're currently running at Amazon. So Amazon is more of a, the margins at Amazon are not comparable to Coke, right? The business is very different. So in Coke, you have a lot of money to dispense in terms of the margins that you make. At Amazon, every penny counts, and whatever we can save and how much optimized, and it's, I think Amazon has the most complex supply chain anywhere of any organization in the world.
So Mayur, 7 months in Amazon with your 2 year rule or 2 to the power X rule, what's the future look like?
See, as I said, I'm not a big planner for sure. I am enjoying my journey here, and I see myself, as long as I enjoy myself, I would want to work for this great organization that I'm part of.